Welcome to the Ultimate Sports Podcast. Today is Tuesday, April 16th, 2019. Today I'm going to discuss last night's NBA and Stanley Cup playoff results, look ahead to tonight's games, and pick them as well. Go over last night's baseball games, look ahead to today's games, discuss two big-name players transferring for a team that was in the top 25 last year in college basketball, my first NBA mock draft, and my best bet of the day. First, we'll start with the NBA playoffs. As I mentioned, there are two games last night. One that wasn't a surprise and one that was an absolute shocker of the ages. We'll start with the non-surprise first because that was the first game. Philadelphia bounces back in a major way to beat the Brooklyn Nets by a score of 145 to 123 to even up the series at 1 apiece. Ben Simmons, absolutely, after trash talking a little bit, was sensational. 18 points, 10 boards, 12 assists, 8 for 12 from the field. Joel Embiid, 23 points and 10 boards. J.J. Redick had 17. Tobias Harris had 19. Off the bench, Mike Scott had 15. Boban Marjanovic had 16. Meanwhile, for Brooklyn, their starters were not good outside of D'Angelo Russell, who had 16 points. Rondé Hollis Jefferson off the bench, 15. Shabazz Napier off the bench, 13. Spencer Dinwiddie off the bench, 19. Karis LeVert off the bench, 13. But by the way, if you're Brooklyn, you got to take the split. I mean, you're heavily a dog in the series, and if you have any hopes and dreams of pulling off an upset, you got to take a road game somewhere, and you just got to win your home games. Somebody always says you're not in trouble in a series until you lose a home game. And I always believed in that theory, unless there were some injuries. And the big shocker, the Clippers over the Warriors, 135-131. The Warriors were up 31 points in the middle of the third quarter. The Clippers come storming back. It's interesting, mid-fourth quarter, Kevin Durant fouls out, and the Clippers take advantage and steal Game 2 in Oracle Arena to go back to Los Angeles, tied at 1 apiece. Lou Williams was absolutely spectacular, 36 points and 11 assists off the bench. Montrezl Harrell off the bench had 25. Jermichael Green off the bench had 13 with 7 boards. Dalano Gallinari had 24. Landry Shamet had 12, including the go-ahead 3 to put the Clippers on top late in the fourth quarter. And Patrick Beverley had 10. Too bad for DeMarcus Cousins. I'll get to his injury in a minute. He only had 2 points in 4 minutes before his injury. Kevin Durant had 21, 5 and 5 before fouling out. Draymond Green had 14. Stephen Curry had 29 with 5 3-pointers. Klay Thompson had 17. Kevin Looney off the bench had 19, and Quinn Cook off the bench had 11. Tonight we have 3 games, 2 on TNT and 1 on NBA TV. 8 o'clock TNT, the Magic at the Raptors. Toronto is favored by 10.5. Orlando has the 1-0 lead in the series. They had that lucky road win in Game 1 where Kyle Lowry had 0 points and DJ Augustine outplayed him, for God's sake. That's not happening again. I love Toronto. That crowd's going to be fired up tonight. The Maple Leafs won yesterday. We'll get to that in a minute. I think that momentum of that fan base carries over to tonight, and they put on a show and absolutely blow the doors off of Orlando. I won't be surprised if this is a 25-point win for Toronto. I'm going to say it's 116-100. 9 o'clock NBA TV, Spurs Nuggets Game 2. Nuggets are favored by 7. San Antonio gets the win in Game 1. I think Denver bounces back here in Game 2 and gets the victory. I think that it'll be a close game, just like Game 1, but I think Denver will get breaks. Malik Beasley will shoot it well off the bench from three-point land. I expect Nikola Jokic to have a better game. So give me Denver to win, but I think the Spurs covered a number. I think Denver wins by a score of like 110-105. Thunder Blazers, 10:30 TNT. Portland won Game 1. They're favored by 1.5 points in Game 2. I think Oklahoma City's going to come out with something to prove in this game. Russell Westbrook, I expect to have another triple-double. I think Paul George will have a good game. I think their bench will finally contribute. I think Dennis Schroeder bounces back from a subpar game 1. I think they steal game 2 on the road. I think this is close. I'm going to say it's a 112-109 Thunder win, and Damian Lillard will hit a shot that just misses, or will take a shot that just misses, and OKC hangs on for the win in a game which it will look like Portland will come back and steal. But give me the Thunder to bounce back and win game 2 to even up at 1 apiece. Stanley Cup playoffs. There were 4 games last night. The Maple Leafs, I just mentioned them before, beat the Bruins 3-2. Toronto now has a 2-1 series lead. Good win for Toronto in the wake of the Nazem Kadri suspension. He's suspended for the rest of the series. The first goal of the game came in the second period by Tyler Moore to give the Leafs a 1-0 lead. David Krejci nearly a minute later ties it at 1 apiece. Austin Matthews gets his first of the playoffs on a power play. 2-1 Leafs. 3-1 Leafs on a power play goal by Andreas Johnson to give him a 3-1 lead. Charlie Coyle, his second of the playoffs on the power play, gets the Bruins within a goal. That's all the scoring in the game. Number 1 star of the game with a goal and assist, Andreas Johnson. Number 2 star of the game with 34 saves on 36 shots. Good bounce back game for Frederick Anderson. Number 3 star of the game with the goal, Charlie Coyle. Hurricanes over the Capitals 5-0 to get on the board in the series. A big win for Carolina, a much needed win. As actually Washington get off to a good start in this game, and then Carolina just took over mid-first period and ends up blowing the doors off of Washington. First period, the first goal of the game, scored by Warren Fogley, gave the Canes a 1-0 lead. Second period, Fogley again, his second of the playoffs, second of the game. 2-0 Canes. Dougie Hamilton on the power play, his first of the playoffs, makes it 3-0. Third period, Dougie Hamilton again on the power play, second of the playoffs, second of the game. 4-0 Canes. And then Brian McGinn, his first of the playoffs, made it 5-0 Canes. What a great win for Carolina. Those fans deserve it. Number 1 star of the game with 2 goals and an assist, Warren Fogley. Second star of the game with 2 goals, Dougie Hamilton. Third star of the game with 2 assists, Jordan Stahl. Predators over the Stars 3-2 to take a 2-1 series lead. A big win for Nashville on the road to take back home ice advantage. No goals in the first period. Second period, Rasmus Grimaldi scores to make it 1-0 Preds. Philip Forsberg, his first of the playoffs, makes it 2-0 Preds. Stars get on the board by a goal by Matt Zuccarello to make it a 2-1 game. Third period, Tyler Seguin scores his first of the playoffs, 2-2. Then Mikael Granlund scores the go-ahead goal to make it a 3-2 lead for the Predators. Number 1 star of the game with 40 saves on 42 shots, Pekka Rinne. Number 2 star of the game with a goal, Philip Forsberg. Number 3 star of the game with a goal, Tyler Seguin. Avalanche over the Flames 6-2 to take a 2-1 series lead. Great performance by Colorado. First period on the power play, second of the playoffs. Nathan MacKinnon, 1-0 Avs. McKinnon again is third of the playoffs, second of the game on the power play, 2-0 Avs. Cale Makar in his NHL debut scores 3-0 Avs. Second period, shorthanded goal by Matt Nieto puts the Avs up 4-0. Sam Bennett's first of the playoffs on the power play gets Calgary on the board. Mikko Rantanen's first of the playoffs makes it 5-1 Avs. Eric Johnson, 54 seconds in to the third period, makes it 6-1 Avs. And TJ Brody in garbage time pretty much makes it a 6-2 game, his first of the playoffs. Number 1 star of the game with 2 goals and an assist, Nathan MacKinnon. Number 2 star of the game with a goal and assist, Mikko Rantanen. Number 3 star of the game with the goal in his NHL debut, Cale Makar. 4 more games tonight. 4 game 4s. 7 o'clock CNBC, Lightning Blue Jackets, Columbus. 3-0 lead in the series. This could be the upset of the year in sports, perhaps, unless if Golden State loses to the Clippers. But this would be an absolute stunner, and there's a chance it happens tonight. There's a chance that it happens within the next couple days, or there's a small chance that Tampa Bay comes back and steals the series. You never know. I'm going to say the Lightning win this one. I don't think they want to get swept. And I think that Columbus is going to have a little bit of happy feet. I expect Tampa to go out and get a lead. I think they win this game by a score of 4-1 on the road. Sergei Bobrovsky has his worst game since that first period in Game 1. 7:30 NBCSN, the Islanders and the Penguins. The Islanders trying to sweep Pittsburgh. I just don't see Pittsburgh getting swept on home ice. Give me Penguins here to get on the board in the series and give their fans a little bit of hope. I think Sidney Crosby finally shows up for a big game and puts the team on his back to take away in a little bit of an embarrassment from the fan base, a little bit of the possibility of getting swept by an underdog team in the Islanders. So give me the Penguins there. Let's say by a score of 5-2. I think it's a blowout. 9:30 CNBC. Jets, Blues. I think this is the best game on the board tonight. St. Louis 2-1 series lead. Jordan Binghamton struggled in his last game. To me, he's the big X factor of this game. If he rebounds, I think St. Louis wins. If he doesn't, then I think Winnipeg wins. But I saw a sleeping giant wake up. That was the Winnipeg Jets. And I think they're going to even this baby up at 2 apiece tonight. I think the winner of this game wins the series. So give me Winnipeg, the even up at 2 apiece, to get the series in their favor a little bit. So I like Winnipeg there, led by Patrick Laine, who finally has rediscovered his goal scoring after a subpar regular season. Kyle Connor had a good game in Game 3, and I just think the Jets are just poised. So give me the Jets. I think it's an overtime game. I'm going to say it's 5-4 Winnipeg in overtime. I think the St. Louis will play better, but they come up short. 10:30 NBCSN, the Sharks with the Golden Knights. Vegas is a 2-1 lead in the series. I think they make it 3-1. I think they're the better team. Marc-Andre Fleury's better than Martin Jones. Jones has struggled throughout the series other than Game 1, in which the Sharks held serve on home ice. Vegas is a great playoff home ice team, well, the exception of the Stanley Cup Final last year when they lost Game 5 on home ice. And they did lose another game on home ice in the final as well. But give me the Golden Knights here to put the series in their control by going up 3-1. Now I'm going to go over the baseball scores from last night and look ahead to tonight's slate. Orioles beat the Red Sox 8-1 in the Red Sox-Patriot Day game as Boston drops to 6-11. Baltimore goes to 7-10. Dan Straley gets the win. He's 1-1. Hector Vasquez the loss. He's 0-1. Top of the second, RBI single. Renato Nunez 1-0 O's. Top of the fifth, RBI single. Jonathan Villar 2-0 O's. Home run, Dwight Smith Jr. 2-run shot, 4-0 O's. Bottom of the fifth, fielder's choice, Steve Pearce. 4-1. The Sox get on the board there. Top of the eighth, 2-run shot, Chris Davis, his first of the year, 6-1 Sox. Top of the ninth, 2-run double, Dwight Smith Jr., 8-1 Orioles is your final. Dan Straley, 5 innings, 2 hits, an earned run, a walk, 2 strikeouts, ERA 10.24. Hector Velasquez, 3 innings, 2 hits, an earned run, 4 walks, and a strikeout, ERA 2.84. Mets over to Phillies, 7-6 in 11 innings. This was an ESPN game. Mets go to 10-6. Phillies drop to 9-6. Luis Avalon gets the win. He's 1-0. Pat Neshek, the loss. He's 0-1. Edwin Diaz gets his 6th save of the year. Top of the third, 2-run single, Wilson Ramos, 2-0 Mets. RBI single, Jeff McNeil, 3-0 Mets. Bottom of the third, RBI single, Bryce Harper makes it a 3-1 game. 2-run single, JT Realmuto makes it 3-3. Top of the fourth, 2-run double, Robinson Cano, 5-3 Mets. Bottom of the fourth, 2-run shot, Maikel Franco makes it a 5-5 game. Top of the sixth, Lauren Brandon Nimmo makes it a 6-5 game. Bottom of the eighth, bases loaded walk, Gene Segura makes it a 6-6 game. Top of the 11th, Juan Lagares scores on the error by Rhys Hoskins to make it a 7-6 Mets lead. And Diaz comes in and gets the job done. Noah Syndergaard, 5 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts, ERA 5.63. Aaron Nola, 4 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, ERA 7.45. I don't know what's up with Aaron Nola. He's off to a bad start this season. Cubs over the Marlins 7-2. A nice win for Chicago. They're 6-9. Miami's 4-13. Yu Darvish gets his first win of the year. He's 1-2. Trevor Richards the loss. He's 0-2. Top of the first, bases loaded walk. Wilson Contreras 1-0 Cubs. 2-run double David Bodie. 3-0 Cubs. Bottom of the second, Richards grounds into a fielder's choice to make it a 3-1 game. Bottom of the fourth, home run by Chad Wallach to make it a 3-2 game. Top of the fifth, RBI double Javier Baez, and then the run scores on the error. 4-2 Cubs. Fielder's choice David Bodie makes it 5-2. Top of the seventh, home run Wilson Contreras makes it 6-2. Top of the ninth, RBI single Wilson Contreras makes it 7-2. That's your final. Yu Darvish, 5 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts, ERA 6.11. So a little better for Darvish. He got run support, so that helps. Trevor Richards, 4 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 5 runs, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts, ERA 3.57. Brewers over the Cardinals 10-7. Milwaukee's 11-6. St. Louis is 9-7. Junior Guerrero gets the win. He's 1-0. Mike Myers the loss. He's 0-1. Top of the first, home run Paul Goldschmidt, 1-0 Cardinals. Home run Paul DeYoung, 2-0 Cardinals. Bottom of the second, home run Mike Moustakas makes it 2-1. RBI single Ben Gamble makes it 2-2. RBI single Freddie Peralta makes it a 3-2 Brewers lead. 3-run shot Christian Yelich, 6-2 Brewers. Top of the third, RBI double Yadier Molina makes it a 6-3 game. Top of the sixth, Dexter Fowler scores on a pass ball by Yasmani Grandal to make it 6-4. RBI single Paul Goldschmidt made it 6-5. RBI single by Marcell Ozuna makes it 6-6. Bottom of the sixth, 3-run shot Christian Yelich makes it 9-6 Milwaukee. Bottom of the eighth, a solo shot by Yelich, his third homer of the game, makes it a 10-6 Brewers lead. Top of the ninth, a home run by Marcell Ozuna makes it a 10-7 game. That's your final. Freddie Peralta, 3 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, ERA 7.13. Dakota Hudson, poor start by him, 3 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, ERA 6.08. Blue Jays over the Twins 5-3. Toronto 6-11. Minnesota's 8-5. Sam Gaviglio gets the win. He's 1-0. The losing pitcher in this game, dropping to 0-1, is Adalberto Mejia. The save, Joe Bigiani. Top of the fourth, sacrifice fly by Alec Hansen to make it a 1-0 Blue Jays lead. Bottom of the fourth, 3-run shot C.J. Cron makes it 3-1 Twins. Top of the eighth, RBI single Justice Vogt makes it 3-2. And a 3-run go-ahead home run by Teoscar Hernandez makes it 5-3 Blue Jays. That's your final. Matt Shoemaker, 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, ERA 1.75. He's off to a good start this season. Martin Perez, 6 innings, 7 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, ERA 5.04. Rangers over the Angels 12-7. The Rangers are 8-7. The Angels are 8-8. The winning pitcher, the 1-0 in the year, Kyle Dowdy. The losing pitcher, Ken Bedrosian, drops to 1-1. Jose Leclerc gets the save. Top of the first, sacrifice fly Albert Pujols, 1-0 Angels. 2-run shot Brian Goodwin makes it 3-0 Angels. Bottom of the second, RBI ground out Isaiah Kiner-Falefa makes it 3-1. Top of the third, Losella reaches on an infield single to make it a 4-1 Angels lead. Bottom of the third, home run Sin-Soo Choo makes it 4-2. RBI ground out Nomar Mazara makes it 4-3. Home run Joey Gallo ties it up at 4 apiece. Bottom of the fifth, Gallo infield single make it 5-4 Rangers. Kiner-Falefa reaches on an infield single to first. Couple runs score on an error makes it a 7-4 lead for the Rangers. RBI single Delino DeShields makes it an 8-4 Rangers lead. Bottom of the sixth, infield single Nomar Mazara makes it 9-4. 2-run shot as Durable Cabrera makes it 11-4. Top of the seventh, sacrifice fly Brian Goodwin makes it 11-5. Bottom of the seventh, RBI ground out Elvis Andrus makes it 12-5. Top of the eighth, a 2-run shot by Cole Calhoun makes it a 7-12 game, and that was your final. Shelby Miller, 4 in the third inning, 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, no strikeouts. His ERA is an ugly 9. Trevor Kale, 4 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. ERA 4.5. White Sox over the Royals 5-4. The White Sox are 6-9. The Royals are 5-11. Manny Banuelos gets the win. He's 1-0. Brad Boxberger the loss. He's 0-3. Alex Colomé gets his fourth save of the year. Top of the second, home run Hunter Dozier makes it 1-0 Royals. 2-run shot, Chris Owings makes it 3-0 Royals. Bottom of the 5th, fielder's choice, Yolmer Sanchez makes it a 3-1 game. RBI double by Leori Garcia makes it 3-2. RBI single, Yoan Moncada makes it 3-3. Top of the 7th, sacrifice fly, Whit Merrifield makes it 4-3. Bottom of the 8th, the go-ahead home run by Wellington Castillo makes it a 5-4 White Sox lead as they hold on for the win. Irvin Santana's 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, ERA 10.38. Heath Fillmeyer, 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 2 strikeouts, ERA 9. Dodgers over the Reds 4-3. This was a fun game. It was on ESPN. I thought the Reds would win this game because I didn't think Clayton Kershaw was going to be himself, but I was proven wrong a little bit. Dodgers are 10-8. Cincinnati's 5-10. Kenley Jansen gets the win. He's 1-0. Rafael Iglesias the loss. He's 0-3. Top of the 1st, 2-run shot. Yasiel Puig off his former teammate Kershaw. 2-0 Reds. Bottom of the 1st, ground rule double. Cody Bellinger makes it 2-1. Bottom of the 5th, bases loaded walk. A.J. Pollock makes it 2-2. Top of the 9th, infield single Matt Kemp to make it 3-2 Reds. So the other ex-Dodger comes through for the Reds. And the bottom of the 9th, a walk-off 2-run shot. Jock Peterson gives the Dodgers a 4-3 win. Takes Kenley Jansen off the hook. Clayton Kershaw, 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts, ERA 2.57. That looked like vintage Clayton Kershaw after a shaky first inning. Luis Castillo, 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 5 walks, 7 strikeouts, ERA 1.46. Rockies over the Padres 5-2. Rockies are 5-12. San Diego's 11-7. Antonio Senzatella the win. He's 1-0. Joey Lucchesi the loss. He's 2-2. Wade Davis gets his first save of the year. Top of the 2nd, 2-run double. Ian Desmond 2-0 Rockies. Bottom of the 4th, home run. Franmil Reyes makes it 2-1. Top of the 6th, home run. Nolan Arenado makes it 3-1. Top of the 7th, home run. Ian Desmond makes it 4-1. RBI ground out. Charlie Blackmon makes it 5-1. Bottom of the 9th, home run. Will Myers makes it a 5-2 game, and that was your final. Senzatella, 6 2/3 innings, 6 hits, an earned run, a walk, 4 strikeouts, ERA 1.35. Joey Lucchesi, 7 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, ERA 5.06. Indians over the Mariners, 6-4. Cleveland's 9-7. Seattle's 13-6. Trevor Bauer gets the win. He's 2-1. Yusei Kikuchi the loss. He's 0-1. Brad Hand gets his 5th save of the year. Top of the 1st, RBI single Hanley Ramirez, 1-0 Indians. RBI single Jason Kipnis, 2-0 Indians. Top of the 3rd, home run Jose Ramirez makes it 3-0 Indians. Bottom of the 6th, RBI single Domingo Santana makes it 3-1. Top of the 8th, Ramirez scores on a wild pitch to make it 4-1 Indians. Bases loaded hit by pitch, Greg Allen, 5-1 Indians. Bottom of the 8th, 2-run shot, Edwin Encarnacion makes it a 5-3 game. Home run, Nomar Narvaez makes it a 5-4 game. Top of the 9th, RBI single by Carl Santana makes it a 6-4 lead for the Indians as they hold on and win. Bauer, 6 2/3 innings, 5 hits, an earned run, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts, ERA 2.05. Kikuchi, meanwhile, 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, ERA 4.23. Tonight's games, no bigger than 6:30 tonight. Red Sox, Yankees. These two teams are combined 12-20. A little better than before from a Red Sox standpoint, other than losing yesterday to the Orioles. The Yankees, meanwhile, have a ton of injuries. This game will be on MLB Network. Yankees are a slim favorite, with James Paxton on the bump going against Chris Sale. Sale's 0-3 with the 9 ERA. Paxton's 1-2 with the 6 ERA. I think the Yankees win the game despite all the injuries. I just do not like how Chris Sale's looked. I think that the Yankee hitters will take advantage of his down velocity, and I think Aaron Judge is going to have a big day, and he'll lead his team to a win. So give me 6-4 Yankees. And Aroldis Chapman exercises his demons against Boston and gets a save against them for once. 6:40 Pirates Tigers. Joe Musgrove and Matt Boyd, both pitchers 1-1. Musgrove has a 0 ERA. Boyd has a 2.6. Giants Nationals at 7 o'clock. Derek Rodriguez and Steven Strasburg. Rodriguez 1-2 with a 4.15. Strasburg 1-0 with the 5.4. Mets Phillies. Steven Matz against Nick Pivetta. Matz 1-0 with the 1.65. Pivetta 1-1 with the 9.45. Orioles Rays. Dylan Bundy and Tyler Glasnow. Bundy 0-1 with 8.76. Glasnow 3-0 with a 0.53. Glasnow looks like the most improved pitcher in the league. Cubs Marlins. Jose Quintana and Pablo Lopez. Quintana 1-1 with the 5.14. Lopez 1-2 with the 6.6. Diamondbacks Braves at 7:20. Robbie Ray and Max Fried. Ray 0-1 with the 3.52. Fried 2-0 with the 0. 7:40 the Cardinals against the Brewers. Jack Flaherty and Brandon Woodruff. Flaherty 1-0 with the 2.93. Woodruff 1-1 with the 6. Blue Jays Twins at 7:40. Aaron Sanchez and Kyle Gibson. Sanchez 1-1 with the 1.69. Gibson no decisions with a 7.71. 8 o'clock Angels Rangers. Jaime Barria and Mike Minor. Barria 1-0 with a 3.38. Minor 1-1 with a 3.86. Royals White Sox. Jorge Lopez and Reynaldo Lopez. Jorge 0-1 with the 3.70. Reynaldo 0-2 with the 12.15. 9 o'clock Rockies Padres. John Gray and Nick Markavicius. John Gray 0-3 with the 4.19. Marvicius 1-1 with the 1.69. Astros Athletics at 10 o'clock. Colin McHugh against Marco Estrada. McHugh 2-1 with the 2.65. Estrada 0-1 with the 4.87. Reds Dodgers. Tyler Mahle and Kenta Maeda. Mahle 0-0 with the 0.82, so no decisions with him. And then Maeda 2-1 with the 4.76. And last but not least, Indians Mariners. Shane Bieber against Mike Leake. Bieber 1-0 with the 1.8. Mike Leake 2-0 with the 4.15. DeMarcus Cousins suffered a torn quad. He's going to be out for a month and a half with this injury. That is a big loss for the Warriors. I think a bigger loss than given credit for, because I think he could have been somebody that could come in and score against anybody's second unit, which gave him a dimension that they didn't have in years past, especially with the big man like Boogie. And I really do believe that this will be a bigger loss than given credit for. And after last night's debacle of a collapse and with this Boogie news, the Warriors are no lock to win the NBA championship. They're as vulnerable as they've been since Steve Kerr has been their coach. This is a serious injury. Listen, I still think they'll win this Clipper series, but it'll probably go 6 rather than 5 like I predicted, because I thought that they would drop a game in Los Angeles, not at Oracle Arena. So I think this is probably going to go 6 or heck even 7, which would be a humongous story if it went 7. But it would be the biggest upset in the history of sports if the Clippers somehow pulled this off, although I just literally said that about Columbus and Tampa Bay in hockey, but this would be a bigger upset than Columbus-Tampa Bay, as good as the Lightning are. And the Lightning had more wins than the Warriors, even though the Lightning are in hockey. But it's just a huge, 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 huge story if both of those upsets, or even if one of those upsets were to happen. But this Boogie injury certainly hurts the Warriors. Kevin Looney or Andrew Bogut's probably going to be their starting center now until the finals, assuming that, or if they get there. So, yeah, big loss for Golden State with losing Boogie Cousins. And this certainly costs Boogie a max contract from somebody this offseason, because he was looking like the superstar he was before he tore his ACL last year. Some college basketball news that broke yesterday, but I just forgot to get to it on the podcast. Joey Hauser and Sam Hauser of Marquette, the brothers, are transferring. That is 2 tremendous losses for Marquette. Yeah, they have Marcus Howard coming back for a senior season, but the loss of 2 role players that can both shoot the 3 ball well and provide pretty good two-way play, it's just significant. And I'm interested to see where they go and whether the 2 players will be eligible to play next season or not. But I just had to bring that up because I think that shakes up the Big East just a little bit because Villanova's young guys will get better, even though they lose some guys like Eric Paschal in the NBA draft. St. John's is going to have a new coach, so they'll probably take a step back. And they also have guys leaving, too. And the guys leaving would be why they take a step back, not because they lost Chris Mullin. So Seton Hall might be the team to beat in the Big East now going into next season, which is saying something because they have some guys coming back. Kevin Willard did not leave for a new job. And I just like the direction of that program a lot. And I think Providence could bounce back next year. I think Butler can bounce back. I think Xavier's a bounce-back candidate. They have some bounce-back candidates. Seton Hall's going to be a preseason top 25 team. Villanova's losing some guys, although Villanova will probably go in as the favorites, but you could certainly make a case for Seton Hall. And Marquette now is not the favorite because of the Hauser brothers transferring. Now I'm going to do my NBA mock draft, my first NBA mock draft of the year. It'll probably look dramatically different by the time June comes along because we don't know the lottery order yet, and there's going to be some guys that get hurt in workouts or stuff happens all the time that changes projected mock drafts and whatnot. And without further ado, here you go, my first NBA mock draft of 2019. Number 1, New York Knicks, Zion Williamson, power forward center, Duke. Wherever Williamson lands will immediately change the outlook of the franchise's future. Perhaps the best drop prospect since LeBron James. He is very athletic and will provide so much energy on the floor. Winning the Zion sweepstakes will make the Knicks the favorites to sign Kevin Durant this summer if they aren't already. Number 2, the Cleveland Cavaliers, John Morant, point guard, Murray State. Morant is someone whose stock absolutely tore up after a fantastic sophomore season. He certainly has his doubters since he played in the Ohio Valley Conference, but he has shown capabilities to be a franchise point guard. If the Cavaliers are the team that winds up the runners-up in the Zion sweepstakes, landing Morant wouldn't be the worst thing in the world as they pair him with Colin Sexton in that backcourt. Number 3, Phoenix Suns. R.J. Barrett, shooting guard, small forward, Duke. Barrett is somebody that got overshadowed last year at Duke because of the brilliance of Zion. He is a great athlete, but he has to get better with his shot selection and becoming a better defender. Barrett could evolve as the second best all-around player from this draft if he lives up to potential as the Suns get a young wing player to go with their young core. Number 4, the Chicago Bulls. DeAndre Hunter, small forward, Virginia. This is where the draft becomes unpredictable. Hunter is someone who is sensational for Virginia in their championship run. The Bulls have their front court intact with Lauri Markkanen and Wendell Carter Jr., and adding a piece like Hunter on the wing would give them much-needed two-way perimeter play. 5, Atlanta Hawks. Jarrett Culver, shooting guard, Texas Tech. Culver is somebody that had a sensational sophomore season to become a projected top lottery pick. He's somebody that can shoot the ball and rebound very well for his position. He and Trae Young would make an interesting backcourt pairing. 6, Washington Wizards. Rui Hachimura, small forward, Gonzaga. Hachimura is somebody that is super talented and really looks like he could be a possible franchise guy. The Wizards are a team that's stuck in limbo with the awful John Wall contract and one really good asset in Bradley Beal, in which teams will demand this summer if they lose out on big-time free agents. Hachimura would just be another asset to potentially build around depending on what they do with Beal. 7, New Orleans Pelicans. Darius Garland, point guard, Vanderbilt. One of the biggest wildcards of this draft is Garland due to the fact that he missed most of the season with a knee injury. He probably would come off the bench if he were to be drafted to the Pelicans, assuming the team doesn't trade away Drew Holiday or if they keep Alfred Payton around. He's somebody that showed he can shoot the 3 ball well and pass the ball too. 8, Memphis Grizzlies. Cam Reddish, small forward, Duke. Reddish, like R.J. Barrett, is someone that was overshadowed on the Blue Devils squad because of Zion's presence. Reddish did not shoot the ball well at times throughout the season, and he needs to develop that consistent shot in the pros. If he does that, then the Grizzlies got themselves another building block to go with Jaren Jackson Jr. 9, Atlanta Hawks from the Dallas Mavericks. Bol, center, Oregon. With their second lottery pick, the Hawks take a low basement, high ceiling player in Bol, whose season was cut short due to a foot injury. He could protect the rim and shoot the three ball pretty well for a 7-footer and would make an interesting front court mate with John Collins. 10. Minnesota Timberwolves. Brandon Clark, power forward, Gonzaga. The second Gonzaga player to come off the board with Clark, who would fill a long-term need of position for the Timberwolves. He provides energy and great two-way play and is somebody analytic nerds will love with his high PER this past season in college. 11. The Los Angeles Lakers. Kobe White, point guard, North Carolina. This pick is most likely the lottery pick to be traded, as the Lakers go star hunting to pair somebody with LeBron James. If the team keeps this pick, they should take the best player available in White, who was phenomenal in his lone season in college. In theory, he can come off the bench or even start depending on Lonzo Ball's future with the team. 12. Charlotte Hornets. Jackson Hayes, center, Texas. Hayes is somebody who developed later on in his high school days and carried it over to college. He shot from a high percentage this past season and showed an ability to protect the rim. In this scenario, he'd come in and probably come off the bench behind Frank Kaminsky unless the team finally moves on from Kaminsky. 13. The Miami Heat. Sekou Doumbouya, small forward, shooting guard, France. The Heat are a team that very quietly could be heading for rougher days ahead, so they must nail this pick. Doumbouya is somebody that showed a good jump shot and quality defensive play too. The defensive side needs to be more proven once he's in the league full time. He's somebody that will probably be a bench player for the Heat that could see G League time if he needs more development time. 14. Boston Celtics from the Sacramento Kings. Nasir Little, small forward, North Carolina. This is another pick that I can see being shopped. Little is somebody who had an uneven season with North Carolina to the point where Kobe White became the best freshman on the team. He showed flashes of good shooting and always has been a great athlete. If the Celtics were to keep the pick, he'd be somebody that will in all likelihood be a bench guy for them. 15. The Detroit Pistons. Romeo Langford, shooting guard, Indiana. Langford is somebody that could possibly go in the top 10, so the Pistons could be getting a steal here. He's somebody that played with torn labrum this past season, which probably held him back. If his shooting improves, he could be a real player for the Pistons next season. 16. Orlando Magic. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, shooting guard, Virginia Tech. Alexander Walker had a great sophomore season to improve his draft stock. What makes him a hot commodity is that he can guard multiple positions and play on and off the ball. The Magic are a team that needs good two-way guard help, and Alexander Walker can provide that. 17. Brooklyn Nets. P.J. Washington, power forward, Kentucky. The Nets finally owned their first-round pick after years of paying for the trade they made back in 2013 with the Celtics. Washington is someone that has the talent of a lottery pick with his ability to stretch the floor. The Nets also have a need at the position, and Washington could possibly start for them down the road. 18. Indiana Pacers. Ty Jerome, point guard, shooting guard, Virginia. Jerome is somebody that was very good in Virginia's championship run. He's somebody that is versatile and can defend multiple positions very well. The Pacers could use another guard off the bench with Victor Oladipo still recovering from his injury, and I don't love the veteran combo of Darren Collison and Corey Joseph. 19. The San Antonio Spurs. Keldon Johnson, small forward, Kentucky. The Spurs are a team that is very guard heavy and pretty big man heavy. Where they lack is forward depth, and Johnson can provide that and develop with the team that is notoriously known for developing well. He can shoot the three ball well, but he needs to develop more defensively, which the Spurs can help him with. 20. The Boston Celtics from the Los Angeles Clippers. Bruno Fernando, center, Maryland. Fernando is somebody that has tantalizing upside that averaged a double-double this past season. He has an NBA-ready body and could be a contributor for the Celtics off the bench. 21. Oklahoma City Thunder. Kevin Porter Jr., shooting guard, USC. Porter is somebody that is a lottery talent that could very well drop this far due to injuries and the suspension he had in college this past season. If Porter lived up to the expectations he was given before college, the Thunder could be getting a steal. 22. The Boston Celtics. Carson Edwards, point guard, Purdue. After a fantastic tournament, Edwards' stock has risen dramatically. He's somebody that can score and can shoot it well from three. Edwards is probably more suited for a bench role, though the Celtics probably need more point guard depth, assuming Kyrie Irving bolts this summer. 23. Utah Jazz. Tyler Herro, shooting guard, Kentucky. Herro could be a steal dropping this far. He can shoot it well from three and is someone that can swing a game. He can also put the ball on the floor and has some size, which makes him more than just a shooter. 24. The Philadelphia 76ers. Admiral Schofield, shooting guard, Tennessee. Schofield was great this past season in college with his dedication and hard work. He is someone that can shoot the three ball well and rebounds well for his position. This would be a solid pick for the Sixers and somebody that could possibly start for them, assuming Jimmy Butler walks. 25, Portland Trailblazers. Talen Horton-Tucker, shooting guard, small forward, Iowa State. Horton-Tucker is somebody that had a very good year with the Cyclones this past season as a freshman, which got him to this position. The Blazers are a team that likes to take chances on overachievers, and Horton-Tucker would be somebody that would provide solid bench minutes for them. 26, the Cleveland Cavaliers from the Houston Rockets. Daniel Gafford, center, Arkansas. Gafford is somebody that could have been drafted last year, but decided to come back to school for his sophomore season. He has tantalizing upside and is somebody that's worth a late first-rounder for a rebuilding team like the Cavs. 27, Brooklyn Nets from the Denver Nuggets. LeGuence Dort, point guard, shooting guard, Arizona State. Dort is somebody that had a solid freshman season and lived up to his top 50 ranking he was given for his class. He's somebody that is versatile and could guard both guard positions well. He'd fit nicely in the new emerging Nets core. 28, Golden State Warriors. Lewis King, small forward, Oregon. King is somebody that has a lot of potential and showed it in his lone college season, especially after he came back from his injury. The Warriors are almost certainly losing Kevin Durant this summer, so it makes sense for them to pick somebody that has potential at that position. 29, San Antonio Spurs from the Toronto Raptors. Dylan Windler, shooting guard, small forward, Belmont. Windler is somebody that is very underrated coming into the draft. He's somebody that can flat out score, shoot it from three, and space the floor well. 30, Milwaukee Bucks. Grant Williams, power forward, Tennessee. The two-time SEC Player of the Year falls to the last pick of the first round, which could end up being a steal for the Bucks. He's someone who is not a great athlete or doesn't have a good perimeter game, but he can score in the post and could adjust to the league better than people think. That's it for the mock draft. And quickly before best bet, Blake Snell is going to be on the disabled list, or the injured list, I should say, due to fractured right toe. He's only expected to miss one start, which isn't the worst thing in the world for the Rays. So I just had to mention that really quick because it's breaking news involving a star Major League Baseball player who just won the Cy Young a year ago. Now on to my best bet, presented by FanDuel. Just going to make it quick. The Nationals, the Rays, the Cubs, the Braves, the Astros, the Dodgers, the Raptors, and the Golden Knights. A little below 29-1 odds. Wagering $1 with the pad of $29.84. That's it for the podcast today. I'll be back tomorrow recapping Stanley Cup playoffs, NBA playoffs, baseball. I'll do my first hockey mock draft tomorrow. I'm also going to predict the NBA schedule, the NFL schedule, which comes out tomorrow, and predict all the primetime games and all the fun stuff, like Thanksgiving games. And I hope you guys have a great day, everybody.